You tell a person they're about to walk off a cliff. They say it's an optical illusion. They fall off the cliff and die. Like, what's the point in even telling people the truth in a world full of lies? In a world that's built on lies? In a world where people would rather live they would deliberately choose to live in a false reality rather than this one. Not only do they know that they're being lied to, they choose it. Like now I look like the idiot because I'm telling you that there's a cliff. I'm the idiot. You know, I always wanted, when I was younger, I wanted to make a big impact, to change the world in some way. That was gonna be, in terms of something that includes space technology or whatever the heck. But, growing older, I realized that, as much as you tell a person that they're heading in the wrong direction, they'll be like, oh, yeah, 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 I have the Google Maps. No, yeah, I know, I know. They know they're going the wrong direction. I've always wanted to save the world. I don't know in what way, but I've had this urge to do so. It was heartbreaking when I was like 13 or 14 when I realized that I can't save the world. And for me, when I was younger, I thought, well, there's just too many people to save. I can't save everyone. But now when I'm older, I'm just thinking, people don't want to be saved. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Don't save her. People don't want to be saved. How do you tell a person who's about to commit self-ending? How do you take them off the rope before they're about to noose themselves? They don't want that. They don't want to be saved. So I don't save them. If you if you try to help someone get off drugs, if you try to help someone get off alcohol who is so dependent on those things, they'll literally tell you to F off and leave them alone. If you try to tell people that they're on the right path, they'll literally tell that they're on the wrong path. They'll literally tell you to F off and leave them alone. However, if I lie to them and tell them that it's not that deep, it's not that addictive, you can always bounce back. No, they were the issue. All of a sudden, it's good. I mean, how is lying to someone good? I've never been in a situation where I've been cheated on or whatever the heck. Um, but my cousin would always bring up this um thought experiment, like where what would you do if you were being cheated on? And I said, I mean, at first I would crash out. Now thinking about it, I'm like, why would I do anything than just walk away? I always wondered why everyone is cheating on everyone these days. I you It's so wild because I'm like, why can't you just tell people that you don't want them anymore? Like, not only do they not want to tell the other person the truth, they don't want to tell themselves the truth. They don't want to tell themselves the truth that they don't like this person anymore. And they don't want to tell themselves the truth that they're greedy. They would rather lie to themselves to such a point where they would hurt someone else's feelings just because they wanted to lie to themselves. I mean, but what's the point in telling people the truth if everyone is lying to everyone? What's the point? And I find myself, in the middle of conversation, well, arguments, more like discussions. And you just get to a point where you're like, hold on a second. I don't have to engage in this conversation because, this isn't a conversation of a person trying to convince me, they're trying to convince themselves. So why do I tell the truth to someone who is not only trying to lie to me, but they're trying to lie to themselves? It's like, what's the point in being the only one who doesn't cheat in a test when I get 60% and everyone gets 100? I mean, you can say the aspect of integrity. I mean, which, number one, I wouldn't cheat on a test because I like getting my things fair and square. And number two, I'd be scared of getting caught. I don't think I'm that good at cheating in tests. But regardless, it's a bit, it's a bit, what's that word? Demotivating if everyone else is lying and you want to, for example, people are talking about their cars. I have a G-Wagon, I have a Mercedes, I have a Benz, and I'm out here like driving a busted up car, and people don't know me. You'd be inclined to lie about the car that you have, because what's the point if you in that same conversation have heard someone else that lie about the car that they have and being praised? It's like now in this society there's a word I'm looking for, but I'll just use another word. There is no use in telling the truth. Like there's no honor in telling the truth. In fact, the truth can most likely, if your truth is, you know, important enough, will most likely get you killed. I have some views on things that I generally wouldn't say on YouTube because number one, they could just be taken off and I could get a strike on my channel. But then again, I think, well, let me just open alternate platforms because who cares? I'm here to say the truth about everything. But what's the use? Because you tell the truth to people, people will support you for one day about the truth, which I mean is good, but then once you're getting sniped out, they'll kind of forget the truth. And then you ask, what's the use in it anyways? Because realistically, I as a human can't save anyone. I can't save the world. I can't even save myself. For real, the only one who can save us is Jesus. I'm not even lying. Because, you've gotten to a point where people would scoff at you for telling the truth, knowing well that you are telling the truth, then listen at least. Yeah, it's a pretty messed up world that we live in. However, there's always like people like you, and as much as you're saying the truth about one thing, it doesn't mean that everyone prefers lies. Luckily. Yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to say.